Now, I love the fact that in this day and age, we always have a list for everything. If you want to find out which color is this, and you take a picture, Gulu will tell you exactly what color it is, what are the combinations of colors, and all of that. And the same applies for actual questions that are pertinent to our lives. For example, does this man want to stay? Is he a keeper, or am I playing myself? And here are some of the 7 things that have been found to show that your man is serious.
I feel so before we even get into the 7 things,
Yeah.
since there's only one married woman between the 3 of us, Lily Asigo, can you please let us know, how did you know that Juakali was the one, that he was supposed to be your husband? Eh?
Let me tell you. Ile character development nimepata. I knew that he was the one when he proposed. That is when I knew he was the one. Before that, I did not know who I was dating. Yani ilikuwa kujuana, like he's a new person this week. Next month, he's a totally new person. That's why I'm telling you, people, you should be ready yourself fast before you start learning about a new person.
Yeah.
So I knew he was the one when he proposed, and I said yes.
Okay. I was hoping you'd give us hope.
Yeah, like
some of us have still not been proposed to. Are they the one?
But you see, Ayuma and Kathomi, you're way older right now than I was when I got married.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good point.
So you definitely know better. Yeah.
Okay, okay. At least that's something. That's some hope. The older you grow, the more experience you have with yourself will enable you to know when it's time. Okay? So here is one of those things. He listens to you. Now, there is a big difference between listening to someone and hearing what they are telling you. Many people will hear you. As in, you're talking to them, they will hear what you're saying, but they're not listening. Active listening. Listening to the point where you're like, okay, by the way, he's really paying attention. Maybe I need to start checking what I'm saying. You know, like, listen, I don't like it when you don't do this, or I like it when you do this. And you see the person doing more of the same thing, then you know, okay, this person did not just hear me, he heard and he listened. So now listening to you is so important, because oftentimes as women, we are always just like having something to say about something. I feel like maybe it's not just me, but every time you have a problem in a relationship with a man, you never shut up about it. You will be like in other relationships, you might think about it, you know, let it fester. But when it's your man, you're like, you always are blatant and honest about it. So every time you say something to him and he actually follows through with action, I think that's a sign.
Yeah, that's definitely a sign. Listening is such an important thing, especially for men. You know, I think as women, we are more prone to like other people and being in tune with their emotions and how they're feeling. Yeah. But when you find a man that truly listens to you and understands you, he's a keeper, child. Another one, trust. Trust. I think this should be even number 1 before listening. Yeah, all right? Absolutely. Trust is the backbone of your relationship. Once you have trust issues inside that relationship, let me tell you, this relationship is doomed for failure. And I think a lot of times there's underlying trust issues over there, but you just keep on sweeping them under the rug. You're there trying to, like, you know, he doesn't trust you when it comes to how you hang out with other people, how you hang out with other men, and then you sweep him under the rug. Then now, every time you go out with your girlfriends, you go out to the club, you come back home, it's a fight. And you're wondering, why are we always fighting? Why are we always arguing? It's because you don't have trust within that relationship. A man that can trust you to go out and trust you not just with his heart, but trust you now with his finances, trust you with other people when it comes to relationships with other men, that is very, very, very important. And that shows that he truly loves you.
I completely agree.
And speaking of trust, you know, as a couple, your man or your woman is your gossip partner. So I want to gossip with someone I can trust, you know? Let's talk about love. Let's talk about our friends. Let's talk about the future, because I trust you, and any advice that you're going to give me will definitely work. So trust is very, very important. Another thing that is important, especially to me, is when you have someone who supports you. Someone who supports your dreams. Because you see, let me tell you, we do have couples when you're unasikilia na wivu. Like today, mimi career yangu ndio ina take off, you're there. These days you don't do nini. You want to slow me down. You're not even happy for me. So when you get someone who supports you, and they're very rare, they are a keeper. Please keep them, because we need people to support us. And if your partner is not supporting you, you can imagine, and this is the person you spend most of your time with, like, itakuwaje surely. Itakuwaje. So if you have someone who supports your dreams, please keep them, treasure them, and value them, because they're rare.
But here's the thing, you need to distinctly understand that supporting you doesn't mean doing the work for you. It means that you are actively doing something and they are pushing you and propelling you forward, which means you have to have your own dream. You have to have your own ambition. You have to have a direction or a goal to which you're trying to attain and go towards for them to be able to support you. Don't just sit there and expect for them to give you the map, the blueprint, and then just actually now carry you and drag you, because when you become a person who is constantly needing to be pushed, you're also draining the energy from them and their success. As they're supporting you, you support them as well, you know? Now,
and Kathomi, support can also mean them telling you no. When you want to do something and it's not making sense, not making financial sense, it's just not making sense altogether, it is nice for them to tell you no. That is not the correct path. I've seen you, I know how you operate, and I feel like this path might work best for you.
Yeah, I love that. And support isn't always money, by the way. That's what Lily is trying to tell you. Small. Support doesn't always mean money. It doesn't mean that every time you want, he's fucking cash for you now. That's not how that works. Now, another one is respect. Hey, this one I had to call Kamukonji, consult about. Because I was wondering, what does this mean? When you tell me you want to respect me, what is the level of respect for a man and a woman and in a relationship? How does it look like? And the answer is simple. He needs to give you the same respect he will give his boys. See the way a guy will call up and they're like, yo, by the way, we're doing this thing, come. And he will drop everything and run towards that meeting that they have now suddenly come up with. That is the level of respect you want. That when you call them and you tell them, look, I want to do this project, I want to do this and this and this, what do you think is the way forward? The kind of respect that you see a man giving his fellow men is the same, if not more, that you should demand from the person. Because clearly it shows you that this person is capable of this level of understanding, appreciating, initiative, and compatibility in terms of doing things in a proper way, with direction, with intent. So when you see this man is able to do these things with other guys, why would you expect less from him? Why would you demand less from him, you know? So respect for me is very, very important. And if someone doesn't respect you, you're doomed to fail. Yeah. There is no other way but failure. So a man should show you respect in every way. Respect your opinions, you know? Not just always shut you down. Whenever you try and say something, it's like, no, but we need to do, this is what I think. It shouldn't be control. It should be respect. You should be able to sit down and have an argument with no one coming out of there feeling like they've just been scarred and they can't do it anymore. It needs to be an argument that is sustainable, that he's protecting you. You know, there are lines that you will cross and there is no going back. And respect will enable you to know that, by the way, just because we're arguing now doesn't mean that this is the end of the relationship, which means I need to make sure that I don't say anything that will be too hurtful for this person to come back. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important. Another one. Honey boo boo child, when you get a man that treats you like a queen, can you hold on tight to him and basically put handcuffs to him? Because this is so rare to find. You know, sometimes you'll find like it's the extra sprinkling on top of the cake. It's great to have the love, to have the respect, to have all of those other qualities, but then sometimes you just need to be treated like a baby girl. You know what I mean? You want to be treated like you are a precious commodity, like you are the most important thing to him in his life. Even simple little things. You don't have to go off out and buy like the most expensive stuff, but even things like holding the door open for me when we're about to sit down, pulling the chair, like, you know, being that like what's it called? There's a special word for it for men who are like chivalry. Showing chivalry is very, very important. That's like what adds a little extraness when he puts time and effort into your date nights. You know, if he knows, for example, you love some certain movie and then goes and downloads it for you, you come back home, the movie is there waiting, you're gonna have some food. Like those special little extra touches, I think that's what spices up the relationship. Because it can get very dull, it can get very boring as time goes on and you just become like roommates and friends. But you need that extra stuff to keep the spark alive in the relationship.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, and have you ever tried doing something nice for someone you don't like? How was that?
It's work.
It's hard.
So as they are busy treating you like a queen, it only means that they love you. So for me, I want someone to just love me, because finding love is very, very hard. Even when it comes to friendships and just even family. Sometimes you're just stuck with people because they are family, not that you love them, because they are family and you're stuck together. So if you have someone who truly loves you, for me, I value love. There's absolutely nothing that you cannot do when you're in love. You will build a fantastic, a beautiful life together. You will like advise each other well. You will wish each other well, because when there's love, everything else is possible. Even when you want to break up with someone and you still love them, it will not be possible, you know? That is why this issues a relationship. Even when you take someone to court, when you take someone to the police, wanangalanga tu hivi, hizi ni domes, they're like, kujeni tutaongea next week, because they know after 1 week, mtakuwa mmesameheana and you've solved everything that there is to be solved, but love has to exist. So for us to prosper, maybe in relationships, in life, love has to be there.
I love that. I appreciate the fact that it is important for you to show initiative, and the only way you show initiative, obviously when you love someone, as Lily has said, you feel the need to do things for them even when they don't ask. It's more a pleasure than it is an obligation. You know, it's like I have a long list of things that I have to do for this woman. Let me bang it out. No. It becomes a thing of, oh my God, I love her so much, and therefore I will do A, B, C, D for her.
Yeah.
And this also applies for men, just so you know. But since we're talking about men being keepers, the advice is mostly coming this way. Another one. Making sacrifices for your sake. You are told love is a commitment. But another thing that you're not putting into emphasis is the fact that there are so many sacrifices that come simply from committing to someone. If you commit to a job, for example, it is raining, cats, dogs, and every meow meow that exists. You will come in that rain as you are being drenched in it. You will come and you will go to work, and then we will figure it out after that.
Yeah.
That is an example of commitment. It doesn't matter what is happening around. It doesn't matter what is happening in the background. You have to show up and do the job. And you can imagine the sacrifice of being beaten up in the rain, people driving and and you have to be in a good mood for you to be at work and be productive. That is what commitment means. So whenever someone is actually, showing you signs of commitment, and this can be something as simple as, okay, I've had a really busy week this week, but I'm trying to at least get an hour in where I'm listening, where we're watching something, where we're taking a walk, where we are actually putting our phones away and listening to each other and just like catching up on the week. That is sacrifice, because they have so much more stuff that they have to do, but they're still taking time to make sure that you're okay. Or even still, they will tell you beforehand, such that you're not there looking all confused, like, why aren't you spending time with me? They've told you, by the way, it's gonna be crazy, so just like brace yourself for impact. So some of these things are important. Even taking time, even money is a sacrifice, right?
Well, the biggest one.
I have 10,000 shillings, but I decide that I will give you 300 bob. You think that's a joke? You think that I didn't have things to do with 300? I would have gone and kulad and kulad mutura and all of that. Anyway, long story short, Sacrifices are important. Make sure that when you make sacrifices for you, you also replicate the same and you appreciate the person for that. But it's been an amazing show. We've had Lily on the show the whole time virtually, the power of technology. Thank you so much, Lily, for being on the show. You can catch her on her social media at Lily Asiko. Thank you so much. You are an angel for making time for us even when you're sick. We have also had Ayuma Kaguli on the show. You can catch her at Ayuma_Kaguli on every social media platform, including TikTok. And you can catch me as well at Kathomi on every social media platform and YouTube as well. See you guys next week. Please, usigufe na baridi.